Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. So here we have our base ready for our full Privet Drive display. Just going to set up some infrastructure pieces at the back here. These are going to hold on our book cover rear display. Now these are going to be visible and attached to the display for the whole time. So that's why they're in a more appropriate colour than I usually use, because they're going to be showing through the window of our front room. This glass is going to be placed behind the window, not really because we need it there as part of the window build, but just because we need to support these two clips at the top to hold the back on. So might as well make it part of a feature of the window. So starting on the walls, we've got this piece, a snot build that's about 8 studs long, so that we can build our wall that's going to attach here. So the wallpaper in Privet Drive is, or at least for the first couple of movies, is a mixture of dark tan-ish stripes on a light tan wallpaper. I'm just going to extend this all the way across, and we've got this build made out of stacked bricks and plates and our window in the middle, and this is going to be our wallpaper design across the front of our display. You can just see through there. There's a bit of a gap, the glass doesn't quite cover across the whole window display. But that's not going to be an issue when we put our curtains on. So this end we've got tiled off. And to match it up on the other side, we've got another one of these snot columns with a plate and a tile. And they're just going to butt up against it and just keep our wall consistent. Moving on over here, I'm just going to put this panel in. We want the hollow side in because this is going to go behind the door to the hallway. That's just going to sit in there, and then if I ever want to display this open, we've got a bit more depth and it doesn't just lead to a blank wall. So I just realised I put this in the wrong place. Let's move that across, because we need to build the arch for the last part of our back wall. That's going to be the archway that leads into the kitchen. So we're using one of these 4 wide half arches. That's just going to give us our kitchen entrance. We imagine that the building continues beyond the confines of the display. A couple of colourful bricks on the back because they're not going to be seen, and then we'll just integrate these 3 elements all together. Then it's a simple matter of building up our wall to the height we've established with our snot piece. So there we go, it's the most of the back wall of our display. Obviously we want something behind the arch, and we need to finish off our book covers on the back. Here's our last 2 book covers, they're going to sit in there, and we've got some inverted tiles just tacked onto the back, just so we get a slightly cleaner look as we look under the archway. So we'll pop a couple of brackets on. And attach our last 2 book covers. That gives us a bit of depth. Nice selection of book covers on the back. And a bit more depth within the house. Now the geography is slightly off on this from what it is. I've sort of taken 2 different angles of the house and combined them into one long display. That's just so I could get the various elements of where all the action takes place. Building a fireplace now, it's going to be nice and simple. Built primarily to mimic the one that we get in the 4 Privet Drive set. So it's very similar to that, using this wooden mantelpiece and the dark tan bricks. But as I don't need the play feature of the letters coming down, it's just a very simple brick built structure. Finish off that with an arch and a couple of these rail plates, and of course we need to plate off behind it to keep everything consistent. And that's our fireplace build, and it's just a matter of building up the wall to match the height yet again. Just here on the front of the chimney breast, going to put another snot brick just so we can have something displayed above the fire. And now all of our walls are up to level. Not much good though, because they're pretty flappy. There's so many different elements and none of them are keyed in yet. So we're just going to put a layer of plate and a layer of tile on the top. Got this 6 one that's going to integrate across the back. But we need to connect all of these across here, these 4 different elements. So I've left a couple of studs and one on the end. And with this long line of plate and tile, you can attach all of these different wall elements together and give it a bit more stability. There we go, integrated all those in together. And that's our last piece. So here above the fireplace in the Privet Drive set, we've actually got this nice portrait of the Dursleys, which looks nice above the fire, but because we're going to be viewing from this wider angle, I've gone back to what was up above the fire in the movies, and that was a mirror, just using a sticker and a 2x3 tile. We're actually going to put the Dursleys portrait on the wall here, just so we can actually see it during the display. So there we go. That's almost all of our infrastructure. That portrait just stopping the walls from wobbling about. Now we've got to deal with these green snot bricks, and they're going to be holding up our curtains. Now I've decided to go for dark blue for the curtains, primarily because it's availability of parts. It's quite a nice colour, and in the movie they're quite chintzy curtains with lots of floral decorations on them, and I was never going to be able to mimic them satisfactorily, so I just chose a nice colour that's dark and gives a good contrast to the light tan. So moving on to the mini builds, it's going to include a lot of the furniture and bits for scene setting. Using these 2x2 round jumpers interspersed with some 1x1 plates. They've all got a hole in the middle so that we can put through this 3-leaf element and one of these little pin push flowers. I doubt I designed this myself. In fact, I think it comes straight from the Privet Drive set. As does what we're going to put in the corner here, and that's going to be the standard lamp. Again, using one of these 2x2 round jumpers and a 1x1 plate with a hole. I'm going to thread this 2x2 round plate over the pole. Put one of these little half dishes domes on the top and connect those two together. It gives us a nice chintzy lampshade to go on our standard lamp. Next piece of furniture we're going to tackle is the sofa. We're keeping to the colour scheme that they gave us in the Privet Drive set, so I'm using this lavender bricks to give the colour to our sofa. The seat's going to need a bit of a redesign. It's just working with the bricks I have. This is the best I can manage. We've got a stack of 1x3 plates. I'm going to pop these loaf pieces on the top, and they're going to give us the arms of our sofa as well. And this can be displayed in a couple of different places, so it can go in front of the window where the small table is, but mainly it's going to be here side on in the build. Over on this side we're going to be replicating the dining area. At the moment I'm using these black chairs. I'd much rather either use brown to match the other furniture or blue to match the curtains, but I only have one of each at the moment, so as I've got 2 black chairs they can place hold until I decide which way I'm going to go with that decision. And they're going to be sitting either side of our dining table. Simple 4x4 round plate, a few of these curved bricks to create the edge of the tablecloth. I'm not going to put the 4th one in because no one's ever going to see that side of the table. And a dark brown telescope piece just to hold it up. Give that a bit of decoration. Let's say it's breakfast time, so we've got some cups and a teapot on there. That gives us our dining table area. That's a quite nice little display. Plenty of room for minifigures. You can pop the Dursleys and Harry in just to decorate the scene. So there it is, all done, quite plain and simple. I think we can add some more to this to make it a bit more interesting. So the first time we're in for Privet Drive, it happened to be Dudley's birthday. And here is a nice big stack of presents to represent all those he gets on his birthday. Now there almost certainly aren't 36 of them. I didn't count them myself, so I don't know how many I added into this build, but if you'd like to go to the trouble of pausing and counting how many presents there are, you're more than welcome. But it's a large enough stack to look quite impressive sitting there on the sofa, just made out of various colourful plates. The next scene we're going to be depicting is the owl post scene. I'm going to use this aerial and this snot brick, and they're going to be supporting this structure here. So this is just a 4x4 round plate with a hole cut out the middle. Attached to this are various trans-clear 1x2s and cylinders and tiles, and they're each supporting envelopes at different levels, so we get this nice whoosh of letters, and they're going to be placed on a stud in the middle of the build so they all appear to be shooting out of the fireplace, and it just gives us quite a nice effect of all these letters arriving down the chimney. We can even add some individual ones. Got this one on an aerial and a cylinder. These can attach into the open studs on the curtains. Got another one here. This one's on a clear bottle, just to add a bit more depth and a bit more dimension to the scene. And of course we can add Harry trying to catch his letter. That's one of our most iconic Privet Drive scenes. Of course we get another one in the Chamber of Secrets, so we need Dobby and the masons. These are sort of standby masons, just made out of parts I had in my inventory, but I'm just scouring Bricklink frequently to find more appropriate parts for the masons, and of course Aunt Petunia's dessert that causes all the trouble. Aunt Marge comes to visit in Prisoner of Azkaban along with Ripper. This is my mock, made up of parts from the Goldstein sisters, a Petunia's face and a skirt from Cho Chang. Haven't worked out to make a big round one. In the fourth book, obviously we don't get a scene in the film, but we do get a visit from the Weasleys in the books. And in the fifth, we get Harry's expulsion. And we get the letter from the Ministry. And what I'm building here is it's basically a howler, using a couple of these red brackets, a couple of cheese slopes, and this 1x2. And although in the movie, or in the book rather, it was just a regular letter, in the movie they depict it as a talking envelope, so I decided I wanted a howler for Ron's howler scene, so I'd build one and it could live with this display. Using that tassel piece gives us a nice flappy tongue. So that's our howler. All of these parts and some more for various different displays are going to live on this plate, and this just sits on top of the Privet Drive display. I'm going to be showing off all these displays in upcoming videos for change of scenes, but for now it's going to sit on there, and of course on the back of that we have the top half of our book covers, so that when the scene is not on display it can be hidden away on my bookshelf. So there we go. That is the Privet Drive display. As I said, in future change of scene videos, we've got a few planned over the next few weeks and months, showing all of the different scenes that we can display in Privet Drive. If you've enjoyed this video, then please leave us a like. Drop a line in the comments, let us know what you think of the display build. Keep your eyes peeled for those upcoming videos. And if you'd like to see more Harry Potter hidden scene displays, then please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.